Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Biggest icon in wrestling.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You know who I am. I am the Microphone Messiah. On the line is the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon, and we are here to give you a recap of All Elite Wrestling Dynamite from August 27th, 2020. I like doing these little bonus ones. It's fun. So this aired on a Thursday. For the first time in, 5 months, fans were back in attendance. Brandon, overall thoughts on the show with fans back in attendance? Did it give you a little bit more oomph when you watched Dynamite?
To be honest, except for like a few points in the show where there was like a talking segment where there was a little lull in the action so the crowd can kind of make a chant, I didn't honestly really notice it. I mean, I said when the news first came out that I wasn't the biggest fan. I don't think this is the right time. I know Florida is one of the hot spots for COVID. They probably shouldn't be doing this. And then on top of that, because there's so many restrictions, you can't have too many people. And because they had such little people, I felt like it didn't make too big of a difference in terms of atmosphere and noise.
It made the difference at certain points. Like Jericho comes out, he did commentary, and after his music cuts off, and they serenade him, and you could just see him like grinning from ear to ear, like he was eating it up. And I think a lot of the guys, and girls that performed Thursday night, they gave it a little bit more effort because they're finally back in front of actual fans. But It at certain points it did add to the show. So here we go. We kick it off with the tag team turmoil gauntlet match or whatever.
As a gauntlet champion myself, Phillip.
Oh,
it is a gauntlet. It is a tag team gauntlet.
You're gonna break this gauntlet down?
I mean, if you want me to, because I am a reigning, defending Call of Duty gauntlet champion.
By all means, break it down, then, player.
Well, this is a tag team gauntlet. Your standard 4-team gauntlet. I believe so. See, I can count. I can do math. We had the top 4 contenders for the tag team championships. We had the Young Bucks first off taking off QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes, the Natural Nightmares, I believe they are called. The Young Bucks actually get the win in 8 minutes. Nothing to it. You would expect the Young Bucks to get this win. Phillip, any notes on this part of the gauntlet?
It was fine. Dustin looking a little slower. Maybe Father Time really has finally caught up with him. He's not performing like he did with Cody a year ago or whatever, or even a couple matches after that. It was decent, a nice little opener, but the real meat and potatoes comes in the next match.
Yes, we get the Young Bucks continuing on in the match to take on the best friends Trent and Chuck Taylor. No, Orange Cassidy at ringside, and in the end, after another 10 minutes of action, the best friends, Trent and Chuck, get the win, but the Young Bucks seemingly had the win in the bag, but then Adam Page comes out. He holds onto Nick Jackson's leg because he was going for the Melter driver. Matt gets rolled up, and the best friends get the win. I guess we can just kind of jump forward to the segment afterwards where we see Hangman in a bar. Then the Young Bucks break in. They yell at him. They say some stuff and blah 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 blah. At the end, they kick him out of the Elite. We don't really hear anything from Hangman, so we don't really know what's going on in his mind, why he did it. Phillip, your thoughts on just this match, but mostly what happened with Hangman and the Young Bucks?
I mean, it was fine, but the real meat and potatoes, like I said, is what happened with the Young Bucks and oh my God, what's his name? Hangman Adam Page. I said this on In the Click, but this episode we're talking right now will air before that episode of In the Click. So here we go. I don't think he wanted to fight his friends. I mean, he already did it once at Revolution this year, one of the best tag matches I've ever seen. Brandon said it's probably the best tag match he's ever seen. But I look at it like that. I don't think he really wanted to fight his friends, and probably Tully and FTR really got in Hangman's ear, and so he cost his friends an opportunity at the titles. And then you fast forward to Dasha in the bar with him. Shout out Dasha. And they kick him out of the Elite, and the Elite really hasn't been what it used to be like a year ago, 2, 3 years ago. And yeah, man, so we're starting to really see all of it unravel. The guys aren't coming to help out each other like they used to. Hangman just got kicked out, so Hangman could join whatever this quote unquote rumored new four-person faction or new faction is supposed to be in AEW, which they're kind of trending on New Japan territory with all these factions they got. But yeah, man. So I think that's what it was. And the scenery of them slamming the door and the broken glass and Hangman's looking in the broken mirror because he realized he just broke a great friendship with two of his best friends. I loved all of it, dude. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, there's a lot more questions than answers right now in this storyline between Hangman. Now, right now, Hangman doesn't look the best. He's kind of, if one would want to categorize him, that was very heelish. I said, on the Payback recap that Apollo Crews wasn't very babyface-ish after he got the loss. That was very heelish of him. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but if this was WWE, I'd be a little more skeptical. I'd be very skeptical to see how they would handle this storyline because I would feel as though they wouldn't make Hangman be sympathetic. Because I still feel at the end of the day, Hangman needs to be a babyface. Yes, there's no crowd to really get behind him, but I think they're still going to be chugging along on the new path of Hangman being a babyface. And I think, as you said, Hangman doesn't want to fight his friends. He's trying to be a good friend, but for him to be a good friend, he had to do a bad thing. And I'm really excited to see what AEW can do because seemingly during this whole pandemic era, they've had to put a lot of storylines on pause because they wanted these big moments to happen in front of a crowd. Yes, it's not the crowd that they really wanted, and I'm still kind of against the crowd to begin with. But if they are kind of getting the ball rolling on these really big angles and ideas that they want to do, I'm excited to see what they do with Hangman and what the kind of complex story they can do. Because we really haven't seen a big-time main event complex story quite yet in AEW, and I'm excited to see what they can pull off.
Yeah, it's always been a lot of kind of short stories for the duration of television tapings or pay-per-view or whatever, and then they move on, like Cody's stuff with like MJF, which it spanned like a couple months, but you have the thing with Shawn Spears, which was like 2 months, and then Cody moves on to the next thing, and kind of stuff like that with Jericho. He had like a little mini feud with Jungle Boy and then moved on to his stuff with Moxley. So I would like to see a bigger, more extravagant long-term story play out in All Elite Wrestling. So yeah, FTR, they defeat the Best Friends, they become the new number one contenders, and they will wrestle Hangman Page and Kenny Omega next Saturday at All Out. We're going to be doing predictions for that on Thursday. I can't wait. And then we move over to Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, defeats Sean Maluta. He is a member of the Anoa'i Wrestling Dynasty. I mean, they're all over the place, man. WWE, MLW, AEW. They're taking over the wrestling world, man. They are. I love it. He dismantles Maluta pretty quick, and then we just have this weird segment with Roberts and Archer and Starks and Cage and Taz, which didn't make any sense to me. Thoughts on the Maluta-Archer match, and then thoughts on whatever the hell this was.
Yeah, the Archer match was just kind of your straightforward squash match. We haven't really seen much of Archer. I mean, at least on Dynamite, I don't really know what he's been doing on Dark. But yeah, the promo or confrontation that happened between Jake Roberts and Taz, for better terms, it just was kind of awkward and weird, which, I mean, on one hand, kind of was a good thing because it seemed legit and just kind of off the cuff. But on another hand, it just wasn't very interesting and just kind of awkward television. It did lead into Darby Allin kind of getting involved a little bit. Or is this? Yeah, I believe so. And then they kind of do a whole thing. And, I mean, they're just kind of really building up the Casino Battle Royal for All Out. So they're just, I mean, there's another segment later on where they just are introducing everyone that's going to be involved. So they kind of all have a story and they can do something or another. But overall, I think it would have been just a lot better if you did the squash, Jay cuts the promo, you know, do it, they leave, and then you can have Taz cut a promo, do the same thing. And I don't think these two units or, you know, teams really needed to be together for this angle.
Yeah, I couldn't take it seriously. Like I couldn't take Archer seriously. He was like, everybody dies, and I was just like, what? I know that's his thing, but I'm just like, I guess it was just his delivery, and I'm like, that's actually stupid, dude. Don't ever say that again, man. All right, and then we have one of two contract signing segments. We have Shida and Thunder Rosa, the NWA Women's World Champion, have their little contract signing segment. I'm interested in this, man. I'm interested to see what they do, and I can't wait to see a new working relationship with NWA and AEW. So thoughts on the contract signing, and then Brandon, do you have any thoughts on who you'd like to see from the NWA come and intertwine in AEW and vice versa?
Well, that'd be a great question, Philip. If I actually watched the NWA and
What?
know a lot of people off the top of my head.
Wow. Okay. Okay. What are your thoughts on Sheeta and Thunder Rosa?
I thought it was, good, straightforward. I think definitely the interest in this feud is definitely in the in-ring aspect. Sheeta, as great as she is in-ring, she's not going to be able to carry a long talking segment by any means, and that's why they kind of had this quick little video package. So, play to the wrestler's strengths, and that's what AEW is doing right now.
Absolutely, and I think to answer the question I asked you, I want to see Cody Aldis 3. If Cody, I heard Baby Huey's talk about this on the Wrestling War Room with Bimbo Jimbo on the Tino Media Network, and Cody can't challenge for the AEW World Title. What if he goes back and challenges for the NWA title yet again? We get Cody Aldis 3, and Cody could have a nice sustainable reign with the NWA title. What are your thoughts on that?
I am intrigued. I think with NWA not really doing a whole lot right now, you can once again get another act out there to get people to know and, kind of realize what the NWA is all about. And if you want to do Cody and Aldis 3, whether that be on an AEW landscape or even on an NWA landscape, but then you plug it on Dynamite or, just kind of intermingle both shows together and do some of the same things. I think that could be interesting. We've already kind of seen some of the mid-card guys jump ship over to AEW. So, it's not like a big deal if anybody were to kind of come over. I don't really think anyone's going to be a needle mover by any means, but just I think the relationship being there is always a positive for the two companies.
Absolutely. Cody, having the kind of rep that he has, I think it would add to the NWA. And if they were to get a television deal, we've never seen that. A guy that's a predominant fixture on one major company and an EVP being a predominant fixture on another company on possibly a different network. I think that'd be interesting and a nice way to move the needle forward in working relationships with companies in the current wrestling realm. All right, we have another contract signing. It is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the man I'm trying to get to the AEW World Championship. He and his camp are together as MJF is in a neck brace, and Mox shows up. The crowd really got hyped to see Mox, and I like that. They have a contract signing. No tables were broken. This is like the first time ever, and I love that. So MJF, he kind of rambles for a bit. He says, "I'm going to beat you, John. The Paradigm Shift is banned for the world title match." And I did like the line where MJF said, "Tell that hot little wife of yours I'm single," really capitalizing on Renee Young leaving WWE this past Sunday for SummerSlam. And so Moxley, he adds another page into the contract, page 17, in which Mark Sterling, the lawyer for Maxwell, he has to wrestle Moxley on next week's Dynamite, which is this coming Wednesday. And if he doesn't show up, MJF doesn't get his title shot upcoming Saturday. What are your thoughts?
I've been a little bit down on what MJF has been doing lately. I know I really like the initial State of the Union address that he did a few weeks ago, but I think he's just been leaning too much on he's been hamming it up too much, I think. But John Mox, I think he's been doing really good in his role. As I said, I feel like this was the one segment that I really could tell that there was a crowd involved because, as you said, the crowd was pretty hot for Moxley's entrance. When he made his entrance, he sat down, the music faded out, and they were still chanting his name. So I think that was definitely the moment that I remember, like a crowd being there and sticking out in my mind that, oh, look, there's actually a crowd and they're making noise, and it's a lot different than what we've been used to. But overall, good stuff from Moxley, some all right stuff from MJF. I did like Babyface once again getting one up on the heel, having Mark Sterling, who is a wrestler. He is Smart Mark on the Major Wrestling podcast. So if you guys watch any of their stuff on YouTube or listen to any of their stuff, you can go check him out over there. He is a real wrestler. So I would just assume it's going to be kind of your straightforward wrestler versus manager type match where it's like a few minutes, maybe Wardlow gets involved, beats him down, and that's where the heat is going into All Out.
Absolutely, dude. I think that is 100% a possibility. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on. And we have... Jesus Christ, dude. I thought Teddy Long loved 6, 8, 10-man tag matches, but Tony Khan may give him a run for his money. We have the Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade, no bunny, going on to defeat BPJ, Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, Joey Janela, and Sonny Kiss. Dude, like, why are... I get, like, they're supposed to be, like, this new little group with Eddie Kingston, but, like, does Tony Khan be like, you, you're all having a 10-man tag team match tonight playing? Like, what is this? I'm sick of seeing them. I really am.
Yeah, I don't know what's with the random 4-man group on the other side of this match. I mean, I've been a little disappointed because I was kind of interested to see what they could do with Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, because I thought that was an interesting story that you can tell, like this kind of wild, crazy guy meeting up and kind of be having a regular friendship with a gay black man, and you could just tell the story. They're friends. They're a tag team partner. Just let them have it. And don't be too crazy about it, but yet they do it for like 2 weeks, and then we don't see them ever again. That being said,
they're probably doing a whole bunch of it on Dark, which nobody sees.
My point exactly. I mean, but even on Dark, it's just like they're just having matches, and they win matches. What really is there to do? Like, what's the point of that?
Do those matches count towards your record? So if a guy's winning on Dark for like 7 weeks, shouldn't he become a number one contender for...
Well, yeah, obviously they're not winning enough matches to where they didn't qualify for the gauntlet.
Or the TNT title or something, dude. Like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Santana Ortiz or the Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade faction group, whatever you want to call it, I don't exactly know, like, what's the point? Like, it is kind of, like, awkward and weird, and I was like, I didn't really understand what they were doing last week with getting them together, and now you're having them, you know, wrestle, and it's like, it's kind of... AEW is expecting their fans to know and understand like all this history behind them with the indies and everything like that. But it's like, I would consider myself like a smart fan, but I just don't see those 4 guys or 5 guys rather being a team. And I just feel like the Lucha Bros are badasses on their own. Yeah, they should be with Pac, whatever his name is, doing their thing. But just have the Lucha Bros be their own thing. How hard is that? They're cool.
Oh, are you talking about that Death Triangle bull stuff?
Triangula de la Muerte.
Whatever that was. Look,
I know I butchered it, but it sounds a whole hell of a lot better in Spanish than Death Triangle.
Yes, it really does. I don't know, I never want to see that again. Tell us about the Cody Rhodes funeral, Brandon.
Well, there was a Cody Rhodes funeral. Mr. Brodie Lee, as well as everyone in the Dark Order, and Colt Cabana. Don't know if you could actually say that he is in the Dark Order. They all come out. They have a casket, and they open the casket, and then there is someone in there which Philip, I believe that is the half-repper, correct? Who was in the casket?
Yes, Cody Preston Vance. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Anyway, so I mean, pretty what you would think. Everyone's, celebrating. Brodie Lee's cutting this promo. We get, I think Tony Schiavone's in the ring as well. They, cut a promo, say that, this is their time. He's a champion, blah, 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 blah. Cody's over. Cody's dead. They lean a little bit more into the being the elite stuff that I think we've really ever seen, especially from the Dark Order. They had the lawnmowers that Brodie Lee said he bought. We had, I am forgetting the name of the short, bald, bearded man in the Dark Order.
Stu Grayson.
The other one.
I don't know the other one.
My point exactly. So then they go and they do their little shtick, and then we get the Nightmare Family or whoever comes out. We get Scorpio Sky, Dustin, QT Marshall, Brandy. We get just kind of everybody running the mill. I mean, it was kind of all over the place. There was like 3 different segments in this one promo.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed this, though. I'm not going to lie. Brodie Lee coming out there like, hey, look what I got in his very nice plaid green suit. I'm a fan of that, he basically said, now we're legit. You people made fun of these guys back in December of last year while I was sitting at home. Obviously throwing a jab at the fact that he was just sitting on his couch while he was still with the WWE. But I like Brodie Lee with the new TNT Championship. He obviously made a remark about Cody. I gave you your old one. I told you I was gonna do that, and I like it, dude. I really do. I thought it was fun.
I mean, yeah, I think overall I did like it. It did set up matches going on later on, whether it be next week or at All Out with Dustin, Scorpio Sky, things of that nature. I don't know where this leads. Like, I might be too far ahead trying to book who is the next champion, but I think Scorpio Sky, if built properly, he could be a good, solid TNT champion.
Absolutely, I think that 100% as well. And eventually, I do want him to get to the heavyweight title there. All right, we already talked about Hangman Page getting kicked out of the Elite. Swole, Big Swole. She had her match against, I guess technically it was Britt Baker, DMD, along with Rebel and Penelope Ford. Brandon, what happened, man?
Nobody got hurt, and Big Swole won.
And Big Swole did win. Penelope Ford, when you're done messing around with Kip Sabian, my number is 510-517. DM me for the rest. So Big Swole gets her match against Britt Baker, DMD. I guess it's going to happen at All Out. Alright, then we move on to that. Sammy Guevara, who has probably one of the best theme songs in All Elite Wrestling. He comes out to have his tables match with...
Whoa, you are forgetting one of the biggest segments on Dynamite.
What?
Anna Jay walks out to ringside.
And Tay Conti, he hands her a portfolio or whatever.
Exactly.
Joined
Ty Conti might be a part of the Dark Order. This is ginormous news.
From jobbing on NXT to the Dark Order. You see, that's why this isn't a cult. It's a revolution. It's a movement. It's a way of life, bro. Join darkorder.com, ladies and gentlemen. I've talked to Huey. If Maxwell wins the title next Saturday, he will have to join Dark Order. You can do that by joining darkorder.com. www.joindarkorder.com. Brandon, will you join?
www.joindarkorder.com. So just is true. Just WWE does own AEW.
No.
www.
.joindarkorder.com.
Oh, sorry. I was putting my tinfoil hat on and about to go down a deep, deep rabbit hole.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. So, Sammy Guevara defeats Matt Hardy in a tables match. It was interesting, man. Matt lays out Sammy on a table on the outside, goes for an elbow drop. He misses. Sammy has a nice gash on the side of his head. Matt puts up a deleted table with a chair standing right side up. And then a superplex from Guevara to Hardy. Hardy goes through it. His spine must be in all sorts of tanglements. Not entanglements, but tanglements. From going through that chair and table. And Guevara gets the win. What are your thoughts?
It was a good match. I mean, with Matt Hardy at this point of his career, he's not going to have a high-flying, all over the place spectacular match. But, he can get up and do one or two big spots. And that's kind of what happened. It was hard-hitting. It was a tables match. Sammy ends up getting the win, but Matt doesn't technically do a job here. So it made a lot of sense. Sammy gets the win. Don't know if this is the end of the feud, if they continue it, and Sammy can get some heat by, beating up Matt Hardy that way, and he can lead on to bigger and better things. But with Brodie Lee being the TNT champion, I don't see him going that direction. And he's definitely not at the level of Jon Moxley quite yet. So I think if these guys are to break off, I think they would just do another non-title feud with somebody else at this point.
Yeah, I think that is the better option for those guys. And then what closed out the show, Brandon? Could you predict that this was going to happen?
I mean, I just could not predict that this would happen. Le Champion. Chris Jericho was on commentary the majority, or not, he was there the entire show, and just out of nowhere we see Sammy Guevara celebrating, and then just fondly in the background we see a white blur just run across, and it's Orange Cassidy hauling ass, jumping over the table, almost taking out Jim Ross in the process, but he goes after Chris Jericho. We get a whole beatdown, brawl angle to close the show, obviously building towards the Mimosa Mayhem match at All Out.
This happened. Look, man, you were right, dude. I mean, it's the same thing. Orange Cassidy gets beaten down, then the next week he comes in guns blazing or juices blazing to get some retribution. Next week, guys, can we do something or this Wednesday? Can we do something different, please? Please, just something different. Something different leading into it. That's all I want. That's all I really want, guys.
Honestly, I don't even know what you could do at this point because they've been feuding for so long that just do a video package and just tell us what's going on, because I don't need 10 different angles on Dynamite on Wednesday leading up to All Out.
I'm a fan of all the angles. You know how much I appreciate all the angles. Like
Drake said, getting all the angles or whatever.
Absolutely.
On that one
song. My fellow Canadian, absolutely. Yes. Check out Drake's new album, Certified Lover Boy, whenever it drops. Brandon, all in all, what are your thoughts on this episode of Dynamite as we've recapped all of it?
Quite enjoyed this episode of Dynamite. I really like the opening tag team gauntlet. Besides that, not a lot of great matches by any means. The Big Swole match, I'm still high on Big Swole, but God, that match was just a train wreck, to be honest. And I'm hoping they don't give away too much on All Out, but I am definitely looking forward to All Out this Saturday.
Absolutely, so am I. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do our predictions for All Out. The Bullet Cash Championship is on the line this Saturday in a fatal 4-way.
I was not told of this. I might be like Roman Reigns. I need to look over the contract before I sign it.
You're being told. We've never done that on this show. We do 2, it's just you and I going back and forth, or it's 3 people. Fatal 4. This is exciting. I feel it, But this and I've never lost. I'm probably gonna lose now, but I've never lost at an AEW event. From Double or Nothing last year all the way up until now, never lost. So I have a streak to maintain.
And I've never won, so something's got to give, right?
Something
there's
does
4
have
people,
to give.
so then I'm gonna lose still.
Yeah, what if I get knocked out and all 3 of you tie? Then how do I decide who's the champion? Gee, you know what I mean?
I win.
Whoa!
No matter what.
Whoa! We're not politicking around here, brother.
Tie goes to me.
This isn't Tuesday in Texas, dude. We're not politicking, man. All right,
come on, brother. I haven't gotten the title. I haven't had a title run in forever. Just let me get one over. Come on, brother.
Did you have one this year?
Exactly, brother. Come on. Give the people what they want.
Dude, I don't. You were champion, but you lost it at Rumble, and you haven't been champ since.
Didn't I have a 1-day reign? I won it on NXT and then lost it the day after.
Yeah, that was last year, though.
Me and Sasha. I'm right there with you, girl. Cheers.
Yeah, you were champion going into this year, but you lost it at the Rumble, and then dude, you need to get the title back. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Oh, wait, what?
Pain
without love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to our recap of AEW Dynamite from Thursday night, August 27th. We're bringing you all the guns on Thursday. PWI top 500. I have some opinions about number 1 and the whole top 10. I really do. We're gonna recap Raw. We're gonna recap NXT because we're gonna have a new NXT champion on Tuesday. That's gonna be exciting. We're gonna do the go home show that Dynamite's gonna do for All Out, and we're gonna give you our All Out predictions. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined. Ladies and gentlemen, diamonds are forever, and so is the microphone messiah.
Biggest icon in wrestling. Sweet! I have to announce to you that I will never retire!
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.